Hi everyone, welcome to our channel, The London Craftsman. This is my wife Georgina. You've probably met her before in a few other videos. And today we're going to be just doing a video on Sketchup, how to use it, how to do a few visuals for your customers. So stay tuned, watch to the end, and I hope you enjoy. So before we start, just a quick mention that we are on Instagram. We've got 800 and something followers on Instagram, which is great, thank you. 22,000 subscribers on YouTube, a massive difference. So make sure you follow us on Insta because we're doing lots and lots and lots of daily stuff. Videos, stories, what the other bits and pieces that we do, those little...
Just little updates of what's going on in the
posts.
workshop. Yeah.
Mainly workshop, which is probably you're quite interested in. And site fitting, do a lot more site fitting. So follow us there.
Exactly. It's the best place to send a message. If you've got something quick you want to answer, sometimes we don't always see past comments on our YouTube channels. We may see them initially.
They get hidden sometimes, don't they?
Exactly. So it's the easiest way to contact us of something, and we're always happy to help.
Yeah. With that said, enjoy the video.
Okay, so hopefully you should be able to see our screen. We've got SketchUp Pro here 2021 edition. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up a new file. But I've also got up a calculator because it was often that we need to work out a few things along the way. So if we click on SketchUp Pro, this screen comes up and we're looking at architectural because that's in millimeters, and we want our drawing to be as accurate as possible.
Millimeters is what we want. Anyone who works in this is millimeters. Unless you're American, then you're all in, is it metric or imperial?
Imperial's America.
Oh, we're metric. So we're mils, you're in inches, I guess. But set it up to whatever you want because you've got the opportunity there.
So this is the first screen that comes up. You'll find you'll have this lovely lady standing here. Older versions, it's a man. Not sure why they've upgraded to a woman, but anyways, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of her. So using your mouse, go to the top of your screen where there is a rubber eraser tool or rubber, and we're just going to rub her out.
You can also right click on the mouse on her and it gives you a list of options, gives you a little menu.
Oh, does it? I've never even used it.
Right click on the item and it will scroll down and give you a little menu, and you can just press delete or do whatever you want to that item.
I just rub her out.
There you go.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to be drawing out a wardrobe today. And this is actually a customer that we have. And we're going to have a look, do an overview drawing for them to have a look at, decide their internals of their wardrobe and the externals. So the space that this customer has, the width of it is from skirting to skirting is 2,202.
2202 in millimeters.
So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go along the toolbar. You'll see a circle there which says shapes. Click on the arrow and we're going to draw a rectangle. Using this rectangle, we're going to do like a plan view of the wardrobe.
Do you want to explain why you're doing the plan view?
No, because you'll see next.
Oh, so wait and see.
So we're going to I click on the corner and I pull it along to create a rectangle. However, I'm not going to click any further. If you look at the bottom of your screen, I'm just going to use my arrow so you can see, there's some measurements at the bottom corner. So using your computer's keypad or numbers, you can type in the measurements you require, and it will automatically make the rectangle to that size. So we've got that measurement 2202, and then we just do a little comma to separate the measurements, and our wardrobe is going to have a depth of 600. So click enter, and there we go, our plan view of our wardrobe's there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create our wardrobe by using a push and pull tool. So go to the top of your toolbar, scroll along, you'll see push and /pull. Click on that and then go to your rectangle. You'll see it starts having like little dots on it to show. It
highlights it, doesn't it?
Exactly. And we're going to pull it up to the ceiling height. So we've got our ceiling height of 2314. 2314.
That's my carpet to ceiling, but for this it doesn't really matter.
No, exactly that.
It's just a demo.
So there's a few viewing options for this SketchUp, and we're going to make it so it's flat and looking at us. So I'm going to go to front view.
So they're all your views, aren't they? So
Yeah.
easy to view, side, front, top. So instead of moving, you're orientating it with your mouse. You can just quickly click a button.
That's right. So at the top of your screen, you'll see this magnifying glass with arrows. If it's a zooming tool. So if you click on it, it makes it as big
As your screen.
As your screen, exactly that. So this is our overall space that we have. We can fit a wardrobe in. It's not going to be the make size of the wardrobe because we need to factor in all the trims and spaces that we leave around the edge. So the first thing I'm going to do is use the measuring tool, tape measure tool, click on that. I'm going to go to the bottom of my space or wardrobe, and we normally leave
50, 60 mil, depends how I feel on the day, to be honest.
Yeah.
Every day is different, but I generally do about 60 because that allows me to level up if the floor's out by 10, 20 mil.
Exactly.
You could do a bit more, but I don't like the big chunky look. Unless you're going for the skirting detail to wrap around, you need to make it bigger, but in my instance,
we want to maximise the space.
Yeah,
possible.
I always go for maximisation.
So, so we clicked on that bottom line and we're going to drag the measuring tool up.
Not clicking your mouse? No, you don't click it, you just type in the numbers.
Exactly. 60.
There we go.
And then from the ceiling down, 50 mil or 60 mil?
Yeah, whatever you feel. Whatever you think how out of level the ceiling is, really, because you don't want to get a tiny little trim in there. If you left only 20, 30 mil void and your ceiling rung is out by 20, 30 mil, you're putting a trim that's going to go from 30 to nothing. It's going to look really horrible and your doors probably won't swing open. So leave at least 50 in my point of view. 50 mil top and bottom.
Yeah, so on the sides we're going to leave...
Well, assuming this is wall to wall,
yeah,
what you have in front of us, I leave 30 to 40 mil. Let's go 40.
Okay. So click on the edge, pull it along, type it in, press enter. So now we've got our guides, and we're going to go back to that rectangle tool, and we're going to click on the corner where those lines meet and drag it down to the other corner to draw in our rectangle.
So this is our carcass size.
Exactly. I'm going to get rid of those measuring guides because we don't need it.
Using the rubber.
Exactly that. So imagine these are your trims around the outside. We're going to now do the doors.
So we're doing exterior view first,
yes,
for the people?
That's right. So let's measure across. We've got from this measurement to here, we've got 2122. I'm going to press escape just to get rid of that. And we're going to minimise this to go to our calculator screen.
So what are we going to have the internals? What are the internals
for
this?
I think, looking at that number, you could have 5 spaces, you could have 4 spaces.
Really. You could have 2 doubles and a single.
Yeah, I think 2 doubles and a single is probably best.
Okay.
Just because we don't really want shelves to overspan.
Yeah, you don't. You want sort of like 450, 500 sections. They're nice spaces.
So let's divide that by 5. Equals 424.4. Okay, let's go back to our screen. That one. 424.4. Now, what you'll find with SketchUp is it does round it up.
It might round it up to the mil or to the half a mil. It won't do it to the 0.1 of a mil.
Yeah. 424.4. So I've got my doors in, and I'm now going to go to my rectangle tool once again and put those doors in.
So remember what Georgina's doing. She's not showing the 3 mil gaps, which, as you can see from this drawing, you don't necessarily need to. It's a visual at the moment. We're not doing this drawing as an accurate... Well, it is going to be accurate to a certain degree. I always do my drawings on pen and paper. So let's show you the one that I have here. So here's one I'm actually doing on the other side of the table. I just sketch mine out on a piece of paper just because I find that I can put my measurements anywhere I want on that drawing, as big as I want, as small, draw arrows in, and the words and the numbers won't be too cumbersome. Whereas on here, I find that it's quite hard to put a number wherever you want it. This is why I do my pencil drawings for all my accurate measurements. My technical drawings, and this is more of a visual. Yeah. I use this as well when I'm doing angles, because I am right now. Georgina did me an angle drawing. As you can see, I do the pencil and she works off all the measurements I can give her. and then she fills in all the missing blanks. So like what angles I need, what size my fascias need to be, and that's why SketchUp is so brilliant for angled.
Yeah, definitely.
So basically, what I'm trying to say is we don't necessarily use it for absolute all our technical drawings.
No.
We use it mainly for customers to be able to decide if they want to change anything, if they don't like the look of the wardrobe, etc.
So this customer is actually having flat doors, but I'm going to show you how to do a shaker style door on this. So what we would do is go to this tool, which is called the offset tool. The offset tool, if you click on the space, it will highlight it. Click on it and you can drag it in and it will drag it into the size you need. So usually shaker style doors, 65, 70.
I quite like, it's your preference. I like the 75 look.
Okay,
75
let's do 75, enter. So I could go along 75.
You just click on the edge, dragging the mouse in, and so you're telling the computer which direction that rectangle is going, because obviously you can go out or you can go in.
That's right. Using this, you could also add your
middle rails.
So, for example, some people like small ones, some people like in the middle.
Let's just go up 800 just to show them.
Yeah, 800.
And then another 75 mil. Again, you could do different size rails. You could do two bigger. You could do a bigger bottom rail, bigger medium middle rail, small top.
Yeah, you could split them into sections. Have like 4 different sections or whatever you'd like. So I've just drawn those using the measuring tool those lines in, and I'm going to use the rectangle tool again, just to create those.
Because ultimately we want to get rid of the guides.
Bars. Yeah, that's right. So here we go. Just rub those out, and then you'll see you've got those lines. Yeah. You can add more lines in. You can add as much detail as you want, really, but I don't think it's always necessary. It's just a quick visual.
You can also, to make that look a little bit more 3D, if you went to the push and pull tool, Georgina, and push in a panel, push it in by
5 mil,
6 mil.
6 mil.
You know, when you push it in again. So if you do that, now if you go to the view tool,
a little bit more, 6 mil.
If you go to the view tool of a sideways view, you can now see the 3D effects when you click on one of your view tools, which is the diagonal 45-degree look.
Yeah, that's right.
So by pushing in, you can just make your drawing look that little bit more 3D for the customer.
Right. Okay, so let's go back to front view, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to remove those pushes and pulls. And there we go. So we've got our image of the exterior of the wardrobe. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. So I'm going to go to File, Save as. Sorry, we want to give it a name. And for this, I'm going to just call it Ryan 1 Exterior, EXT. And then I might use a different view tool. You can use this orbit tool to move the wardrobe around to make it however you would like to look at it.
Or however you want the customer to see. You know, you want to show your work off, so you want to put it at a nice angle, don't you?
So I'm now going to do, I'm going to create a picture from this. So we're going to go to Export, 2D Graphic. It will automatically come up with your file name. So Ryan 1 Exterior A, so this is going to be my first picture. I might just do a flat picture, and we're going to export 2D graphic, and I'm going to call this one B export.
So you can notice that we saved the file, so we've always got this file as the external view.
Yeah.
And then you can take as many pictures. If you ever need to go back, you just go back into this file, because in a minute we're going to be showing you the internals, how to do internals.
Yeah, sometimes the customer might turn around and say, actually, I would like a 3-door wardrobe, or
a
3-panel wardrobe, or I actually want 4 doors.
Or flat.
Exactly. And it saves you time. You can just go in and amend your drawing.
Like in a few seconds.
Exactly. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the interior. To save us drawing it all out again, I'm just going to go to File, Save As. So we're saving a new document, and we're going to call this Ryan 1 Interior. Okay. So we're now working on a separate SketchUp drawing. Okay, so the next thing we've done is we've just saved our document, and we're going to amend this new document. This new file. Yeah. So what we're going to do is, so this is a 5-door wardrobe. it's going to be 2 double sections and a single section. So I'm going to use my rubber tool over there, eraser tool, and I'm just going to delete the lines that I don't need. So if you go onto the corners, it will delete both.
You could just hold your button and move it over everything.
It highlights all
It's
the
a little
bits.
bit quicker than starting again, isn't it?
Exactly that.
You could press back up, back up, or undo quite a few times to get you to the same thing, because you can remove processes.
Exactly.
Perfect. So we got 2 doubles, 1 either side, and a single in the middle.
That's right. So the next thing we're going to do is going to draw in our carcass, drawing the carcass.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to the offset tool, click on the box, and our carcass is going to be 18 millimeters thick. And I'm going to highlight it, drag it in, 18, highlight, drag it in, 18. So we've got our carcass.
You could draw the lines in if you really wanted to, like if you wanted your sides to run through, if you need it for your own visual, or if someone's working with you, you need to show them how it's going to work if you don't have technical drawings. But in this case, we're not going to.
So the customer would like a double hanging. So we're going to use this first box to do double hanging. I'm going to use my measurement tool to check how tall the space is, because they would like a shelf at the top, but I don't think it's going to be a big enough space.
Yeah, you generally need 2.5-ish to get a decent sized shelf above double hanging.
Yeah. So clicking on the inside of the line, the interior of the carcass, I'm going to drag it up to the top to check the measurement. It's 2168. So that's not going to be a big enough space.
Down out there.
150 is, what is that? That much? You're not going to fit anything in that space.
Yeah, you want about a metre for hanging, don't you?
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Like 50 mil for your space for your hanger to go in, your hanging rails 25.
Yeah.
Just make it a nice, generous
hanging space. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to separate this space into 2, put a shelf in the middle. So 2168, let's go back to our calculator tool.
Well, let's go, because we're spanning over 600, we're going to go for a 25 mil shelf as well.
2168
minus 25
minus 25 mil
equals then divided by 2.
1071.5.
1071.5.
Okay, so I'm going to go 1071.5, and then I'm going to go up
shelf.
25 mil, and then that should be the same.
That's fine. Again, Sketchup rounds it for you.
Yeah, and then I'm going to use my rectangle tool to draw in that.
Oh, was that definitely on the? Yeah, it was. Sorry, my bad.
Now because this is going to be 2 open spaces, I'm going to use my push and pull, and I'm going to click on the space and push it back to, and that will just show your back.
Backing.
Oh yeah, backing.
We always do backings, don't we?
Yeah.
We never make a wardrobe without a backing. It's just not our style.
So with the push and pull tool, you can push it all the way back to the furthest back, and that will open up the space. But we are going
to make it hollow, wouldn't it?
Exactly. We want a 6 mil back in.
So we know our carcass is 600.
Yep. So we can take away 6 mil, but for easiness, I always just do 595, just because it's a little bit easier.
It's a round number, isn't it?
Exactly. So click on that, and here's a little trick. If you click on a space and you go to something that's already been pushed back, it will push it back to the same depth as
Just click your mouse.
Click on it. There we go.
Nice and simple. You can do that to all of them now.
Yeah, but I'm going to put some
other bits
in it.
That's true.
So our customer would like this section. We're going to add a divider between it. So we've got, if we measure this space, we've got 813.
So that's inside.
Inside, yeah.
On my technical drawings, I always have an inside measurement. I always write that down. I just call it inch, just for short.
As it's an upright, we're just going to do 18 mil.
That's all it needs to be.
795, and we're going to divide that by 2. 397.5. 397.5.
Everything seems to be 0.5s today on this one.
And then we're going to put our rectangle, draw that in.
There we go. So we've got central division on this double carcass now.
Exactly.
Rather than doing 2 single doubles at the end, it saves you an extra side. Where the mouse is at the moment, Georgina could have just done 2 slim boxes, but you're saving half a sheet of MDF, aren't you, by just big double with a division in the centre.
Yeah, that's right. So let's imagine that the customer would like some long hanging. So long hanging, let's say.
What would you generally do? You could go from 1.2 to
Actually,
1.5.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to do my central section because I want to make sure my shelves and things are marrying up to they're at a similar height. So this customer would like some drawers, so we're going to draw the drawers in first. Now these are rough sizes. We're not going to go into the technical bits of knowing how much the spaces you're going to leave for your fascia and all that kind of stuff. It's just a visual. So I know the drawers are going to be about 250 high generally. So what I would do is, okay, the customer, let's say they want 3 drawers. I'm going to do 250, 250, escape, 250. And then at the top I'm going to do a little shelf in there, 18 mil.
So that's the top of the drawer unit.
Top of my drawer unit, draw my rectangles in. So these are my drawers at the bottom. And using the remainder of the space, I'm going to work out some shelving. So we've got 1400 there. So we're going to do 18 mil shelves. Let's see, 1400. I'm going to say
3 shelves.
3 shelves, yeah.
So that's 54 mil. 3 18s is 54. Take away the 54.
And divide that by 4.
Because it's 4 openings.
336.
That's a decent open. I don't like making my openings any bigger than a 300-ish, 250, 300, because otherwise you stacking your t-shirts or whatever you have in there too big. You know, if you're going up 400, 500, it's just unusable space after about 300-ish.
336.5.
That's my logic behind it anyway. Yeah.
I was just double checking. 336.5. And that's an 18 mil shelf. What happened there? I can't see my...
Your measurement is...
Oh, it's gone wrong. Edit, undo guide. Click on that again.
That's because you're clicking on the centre.
That's right. 18. 336.5 and 18. Let's draw those shelves in with my rectangle tool. And here we go. I'm not going to rub out the lines just yet because I'm going to go to this side because I'm going to do some long hanging. So here we go, we're going to measure up.
That's quite a good tip actually, because it tells you if you want everything to be symmetrical, keep those guides in.
Yeah, exactly that. So 1459, that's an okay height for some long hanging. If they want it taller, 18.
No, you never have a 1.8. Who's ever going to be 1.8 tall?
You never know, some long flowy dresses.
What, for a giant? A BFG?
Well, I'm short, so it doesn't matter for me.
6 foot dress, so it means you've got to be...
Yeah, but some people might choose to use...
You've got to be 7 or 8 foot.
Yeah, but you might choose to use that bottom space for like some shoes or something instead. Yeah. So anyways, let's draw some rectangles in.
So that's going to be another shelf, is it?
Yeah, we'll have some shelving above there. Want to make use of the space as best as we can. So let's leave it as that. And let's remove these guidelines now. There we go. Push and pull tool. Push it back as I'm just going to drag it over because that's the depth we need. Sometimes if you pull it the wrong way, it comes out and it's a bit crazy. Escape, go back. And, oh no, we don't need to do that one. That's a drawer. So we've got our shelving at the top. That slightly annoys me that that shelf is not in line there.
Yeah,
but to be honest, you're never going to open the doors at the same time and for it to be noticeable.
This is why the customer has these visuals anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to try and make them symmetrical, but...
It may be that we actually will move that up and make it in line.
Do. Or we can draw you can move the drawers down.
Yeah.
Just to pinch a bit more space.
Yeah.
There we go. So what is on the right hand side then?
I think another double hanging rail.
Okay.
So let's just push it all back. There we go. So this is almost like a his and hers. His side for just hanging trousers, long dresses and some space for his. So let's draw our hanging rails in now. Now to do our hanging rails, we're going to swivel the wardrobe round using this tool here, which is the orbit tool.
That's very handy.
Push it to the side and you can now see the side of your wardrobe.
Because ultimately you need to see where you're going to be placing that circle of your hanging rail on a side.
Exactly. So use your tape measure tool. We're going to go from the top of our wardrobe. I'm going to come down 60.
Yeah, 60 to the start of the hanging rail is what I generally do.
So 60. And I'm going to do this for this shelf as well. 60.
What do you think you're going to do on the right-hand side? You said you're going to match it because you can follow those guides all the way to the right.
No.
Okay.
No. Because if I wanted to pull it all the way to here, it will go through my wardrobe. And that wouldn't work. So let's go down here.
But you can use your guides anyway. You can...
Oh, I didn't put a shelf in. Oh. Okay, so so this side, I've realised I've missed a shelf out, but I'm going to quickly just put that back in. Rub that guide out. I'm going to push and pull it forward. It's easier to do your measurements on the front of a wardrobe.
On the flat.
On the flat. So let's just check what height this one was.
You can just follow the guides, can't you? Click it
yeah.
there now.
1071.
Re-click it. Enter. There we go, and you've got your guide on your right now.
Exactly that. And then if you...
Yeah, on that one.
Let's go up.
18. No, 25.
That's 25, so we may as well keep it the same.
Yeah, I mean, we should have just done that at the beginning, shouldn't we? We just missed it out.
Yeah.
That's really what we should have done.
And let's rub those lines out. We don't need those ones. And push and pull. I'm just going to do 595 and push out there. Okay. We're back to where we need to be.
Yeah.
So let's pull that one down 60 mil. And pull that one down 60 mil. It's really important that when you are clicking that you click on the lines itself, because you could, if I clicked it here and not in that corner, it will just give you a guideline from that point.
Yeah.
So, and look, it's drawn like a really random line there. Escape. Oh, let's go back. Edit, undo guide. Now the next thing we need to do is draw a vertical line. So we click on the edge and we pull it in. Watch the line go green. We don't want a red line.
Because that's a different axis.
It's a different axis. We want the green line because it's pushing back. So we put our hanging rail in the middle.
It's found it for you, 298, centre.
There we go.
Because you got 595, which is... So it's quite smart. So you could just click that. Yeah. See if it finds it again. Will it find it? Yeah. Brilliant. No typing needed. So the computer knows, SketchUp knows that you're trying to find centre.
Yeah. Quite often I just type in 300 just because it's easy. We're going to go to our circle tool, and the circle tool is going to click onto where it meets, and it must show an X there, because if you haven't drawn your
cross section,
your lines in the right place, that cross won't come out.
Yeah. Say you got your guides on the wrong axis and they're not crossing properly on your drawing.
Exactly. It's easy to do. So if we click on that, we're going to do our hanging rails. So
Spread it out as big as you want. Look, you can pull it out as big as you want.
Doesn't matter.
You can go all the way. Oh. Start again. Do that again. Sorry.
Click on it, pull it out, and we're going. These hanging rails are normally what, 25 mil?
They are 25, yeah.
So we need half of that. 12.5. Enter. They look really tiny, but it doesn't.
They're in relation to the wardrobe, aren't they? They're in scale to the wardrobe.
So all of those, make sure you're doing the right cross section.
You're seeing the wrong axis there. Zoom in with your mouse.
Let's have a look. Oh, look, there we are.
Yeah, so Georgina's just clicking and she's zooming out. She's using the wheel of her mouse so you can zoom in and out on your drawing. You can use that quite efficiently. Georgina uses this hand tool to move the drawing around. Yeah. I do it differently. I move my mouse into this corner of the screen, zoom out, move my mouse back where I want to zoom in, and then use the wheel again and zoom in. And that way I can shift your drawing around without using this hand tool.
Okay, so I've got all my circles on. I'm going to remove all of the guides now.
Yeah.
Okay, there we are. They're all
starting to look quite smart now.
So what we're going to do, we're going to use our push and pull tool. And now this you might want to zoom in. Make sure it's highlighted that circle. Click on it, and we're going to drag it all the way to the end of our carcass, and it says on edge. If we don't go too far, it won't make it the whole way. If we go too far, you'll see it go through the side. So on edge is where you want it to be. On edge. I'm just panning out. You can use that hand to move it to the right place. Push and pull, and we're going to do that again. Move my pan tool.
Again, Gina's using the tools to move her drawing around, whereas I would use my mouse wheel, but that's how Gina works.
And there we go. Now we're going to just make it all bigger, make it flat, and see we've got all of our hanging rails in there. You might want to use your pan tool to have a look to check that it is exactly how you want it. Quite often we find that the pan tool, just slightly moving it off the flat, just creates another dimension. It makes it just look a bit better.
A little bit more 3D. You start seeing the shadows, don't you?
Exactly. So we are going to just quickly save it. We've already named it interior, and now we're going to take some screenshots of this using our export. So a flat one first.
Yep.
File, export 2D graphic, and it's already called Rhino 1 interior. I'm going to put an A on it for our first one. Use our orbit tool to slightly move it over.
Or you can use the guides.
Yeah.
Or the actual
Export 2D graphic, B.
the preset tools
Export.
if you wanted to at the top.
Sometimes customers ask for measurements, rough measurements. Always make sure you know to tell them that these are rough, because we haven't done this exact, have we?
Well, it is to a certain extent.
Yeah, it's not going to be far off those measurements.
Exactly. If I'm changing trim sizes finally, or if I need to tweak something like a drawer height, then shelf heights may change.
Exactly.
So things can change a little bit.
Yeah.
Just be aware. Make sure you tell your customer that it's only a guide and it's very close, but that's the visual.
So what we're going to do is, if the customer wants some measurements, you can go to the Tools tab and go down to Dimensions.
Or you've already got that at the top bar as well.
Oh, yeah,
if you show them
there.
what that is. There we
that
go.
One there.
You can put as many of these things on your toolbar as you want.
You can.
In the options, you've got the chance, if you move the mouse along the toolbar, to add all of these. Move your mouse along the side here so they can see. You can fill up this whole space at the top with all the tools that they supply you with.
I think it's in the view toolbars. You can just
exactly.
add them all in.
Yeah, so you don't need to go into the menu every time. They'll be up there ready for you.
Okay, so if we click on Dimensions, when you click on a line, it highlights it.
You see it's only highlighted the top carcass section there?
Yeah.
Because it's split.
If we
can have it off,
You can have it.
I prefer off if we're going to do that, yeah.
Let's make it flat so it's easier to see. So if we can show that those spaces are that size, we can show that it's the same on that side. I think that's probably not necessary. The inside of this wardrobe height, we could show the shelf height. You can also show widths.
Yeah, the drawer height, that's quite an important one. People always want to know how big their drawers are. And maybe even the depth.
Yeah.
How would you do a depth? Same, but you just go to...
Yeah, pan it. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. Dimensions, and along there. You want to make sure it's just highlighted blue.
Yeah.
You can do the height, the outside height, showing the space that you have, the overalls that we started.
Quite smart, isn't it? I like the SketchUp for that reason. And like I said at the beginning of the video, it's really good for angled units to find your angles, fascia sizes, drawer sizes of anything where you don't have to do a whole rod. Because back in the day, I used to draw it out full scale, which was, this is the way I learned back in the day.
So let's then save that. Not a save as. We're just going to take a photo of this this screenshot that we're going to
export it then.
Export it 2D graphic, interior with measurements. The same measurements. Measurements. There we go. Now with SketchUp, if the customer wants things to be in a colour or things like that, you can highlight things. You could also add labels. So this one you could say, and you can just write that it is double hanging.
Yep, that's a good idea.
So you can point to things, drawers, and put labels on things.
For example, you can do the same. You can just make a note that these are push-release runners or push-release drawers, anything that you need to write as notes.
Exactly that. I'm going to get rid of these measurements using my rubber tool. You could go backwards if you would like. There we go. Let's go to the front. So we could colour it in if the customer wants something.
Well, you've got the tool on your right here, or this whole window.
Oh, yes.
Which is why we got this open to start with.
To colour something in, you go to the top, this little paint bucket here, and you select the colour that you want.
You don't necessarily have to click the paint, you just go straight there.
Oh, I've always clicked it. It's a popular thing. Let's see if maybe they want a pink wardrobe. Select it.
Do something darker so they can see it.
Okay, purple. There we go. That's a bit of a funky pink.
Why don't you do another thing? Highlight the whole wardrobe.
Okay.
Triple click or highlight it, and then it's all gone blue, and then it colours everything. Yeah, that's quite clever.
Oh, that's a bit mad. Let's go back.
Why didn't you pick a nice colour?
Doesn't matter. Edit, undo, paint. Edit, undo. So instead of using the edit, undo, you can see on the side it says Alt backspace. You can also Alt backspace, and you can quickly undo. So it's a
Beautiful.
lot of clicking.
Shall we show wood effects or any materials? Show them where to look?
Yeah, what I find with this in particular, if you go to wood, there's not many options out there and they're really ugly. And I'm sure you can get add-ons, but
You can actually save your own picture, and I've done that before.
yes, you can save it and import it. So if you want to use a wood veneer, it shows it in a basic. Oh, let's highlight it.
Yeah. But I've done it where I've gone to Google, type in oak veneer sample or oak veneer, and I save that as a JPEG.
Yeah.
And it asks you what size you want to save that as, and it'll give you a tile size.
Yeah.
So basically, you need to get that tile size right so it covers it and the grain is the right correct. You play around with it, and then you can import it to the material section, and then you can just use it.
Yeah, exactly.
Tiles, no, maybe not tiles. Wood. It's mainly woods or colours, isn't it?
Let's do underpaint. Get rid of that. Edit underpaint.
But that's another good thing. If you just maybe making a desk or something for someone, you just want to say, okay, everything is painted white apart from the desktop. At least it highlights those sort of things.
I've just noticed that it's still slightly pink, so I'm going to go back to white, and I'm going to highlight it all and make sure it's all white again.
Yeah. There we go. Using the arrow. Yeah.
There we
Arrows
go.
highlights everything. So
we've got our drawings. Oh, let's have a look. Let's open up a drawing to show what it would look like. Let's go to that screen.
one that we just saved.
Yeah, measurements.
Because when it saves it, it does save it a little bit different.
Yeah, it's a bit more crisper and
Yeah.
it's just nicer to look at, really.
Yeah, it looks like a proper photo in a way.
And then you just add them as an attachment to your drawings. You could put it into a PDF. It's up to you what you want to do with it. But you've got that visual to work from now. So quite often I'll be in liaising with the customer about the design. I tweak things, amend things. Whilst Ryan's gone and measured up, he has nothing else to do with it until we are at the time where Ryan's going to do his technical drawings, and then he'll take the drawings that I've done and use those.
I do use them. You know, let me just show you a handful of drawings that Gina's done for a wardrobe before. Okay, so she gives me little visuals like this. You know, I've got a handful of jobs which, look, they're all a bit scruffy at the moment. This is one I'm working on right now. Little bookshelf, a radiator cover, and it's just to show me the style or rough style that I'm working to, or what the customer's told her, the layouts that they want. For example, look, a drawer, shelf above, I'll ask her how big that hanging rail space is and the shelf above that. So I've got something to work to on top of my my measuring up details, because obviously I don't get all the finer details on site. Gina will liaise.
Exactly that. So I hope that's been useful to you. Maybe we'll do a different style of wardrobe.
I think we've covered everything really, haven't we?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so, yeah.
If you have any questions, put them in the comments, or really follow us on Instagram. It's the easiest way to get in contact with us, and send us a message if you have a quick question.
That's a very good point, because I'm always doing stories. Since Gina's told me how to do it now, because I'm a bit rubbish like that, every day I'm sort of doing a story. So follow us on that. We're growing our Instagram followers, also YouTube. So if you're liking our content on YouTube as well, follow us, like, subscribe, hit the bell button, all those sort of things. Ultimately, you'll do it if you like us and you like our content. If not,
oh well. Yeah.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So
take it easy.
take it easy. Have a good one. Ciao for now.